Grey Maniacs gather! I'm going to go through some comic books, and this is going to be a long video because I've decided to do the whole of my Dial H for Hero related comic books. I'm basically going through box number 38 now. This is my last short box of comics. I'll be starting on my long boxes from next week. So let's go through my entire Dial H for History? Dial H for Hero run. Right, this one doesn't Dial H, but this is from the same House of Secrets. I don't know if I've got a House of Secrets in here. Oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. They're kind of mixed up. This is the House of Secrets before they went to like scary stories. So you've got a Prince Rahman and you've got a Calypso story there. Not one I'm particularly after, but like if I see them going cheap, I will most certainly pick them up. I always been quite keen on Calypso, even though I didn't really know him until the 80s. Right, then we have a House of Mystery. The Manhunter from Mars battles the Doom Shadow. Zook, do something, I'm paralysed. And when the shadow of the choker falls on me, I'll become petrified. Old Martian Manhunter. There you go. Right, and the reason this is in with that Dial H run, because Dial H is coming up. Yeah, House of Mystery from 156 became Dial H for Hero. And this has got some of my favourite covers. Just love the way they're split. I like the bifurcated covers or the trifurcated covers. I love the blinking trade dress logo at the top. You've got the House of Mystery. You've got the DC logo. You've got the Dial H logo. What's it say down here? New! The most original character in comic history. Robbie Reed, the boy who can change into 1,000 superheroes. Like Cometeer, like Giant Boy, like the Mole. All he has to do is Dial H for Hero. Also, the Martian Manhunter, it says in the corner. So yeah, it'd be a Martian Manhunter story, and it would be a Dial H for Hero story with Robbie Reed saying, "Sock 'em a G!" Why is this one? Okay, fair enough. So I'm just, because normally I have one front and back, but I don't have it on this one, but that's because it's the 156, it's an odd number, so that makes sense. Anyway, let's carry it on. Let's go to number 157. Look at that. Look at that cover. Look at the way it's all split up there. Look at the layout, the super beautiful trade dress, the go-go checks, for God's sake. Wow. Sets my heart aflutter and my loins a thundering, this kind of comic book cover. It's awesome. I just love it. Sock 'em a G! Robert Reed does it again when he becomes 3 brand new superheroes to battle the Marauders of Thunderbolt Island. Each time I use this dial, I become a different superhero, like Supercharge, the Human Bullet, Radar Sonar Man. And even though the characters are daft as a brush, it's just such great Silver Age fun. It's a hint of Silver Age madness, of course, as well. It has to be, but lots of fun, basically. House of Mystery. New, the most original character in comic history. It's the battle of the century when Robbie Reed dials into another superhero, Quakemaster, and battles a cunning criminal who has dialed V for villain. Oh dear. There's a villain dial, and this villain dials his villain dial, becomes a criminal. Right, I've got a lot of comics to show off, but I'll be going slow to start off with and then quicker towards the end of the run, because these old comic books have got character, they've got awesome covers. Just every single one of them, I could drink them, you know, I could drink in the goodness, all the different beautiful garish colours and the boldness of them. Later on, it's just a picture of someone on the front. You know what I mean? There's no blurbs, nothing to really draw your attention in, so I'll be shooting through those a lot quicker. Robbie Reed, the boy who could change into 1,000 superheroes. I won't read the whole thing again, but in this one it becomes Hypno Man, Human Starfish, and Mighty Moppet. 3 startling new superheroes, and each razzle-dazzle role Robbie Reed dials into is desperately needed to tackle the fantastic Clay Creep Clan. I didn't read that in order, but there you go. I think this next one is the first one I bought because Daz the Key Chaser showed it off, because it was the first Silver Age appearance of Plastic Man. Robbie Reed actually becomes Plastic Man. He dials him up. But this is even better. This is a fantastic cover. He's in the circle in the middle. It's quadricated, is it? When it's cut into 4. Sock 'em a G! Dial in for blazing action against the dazzling villain, the Wizard of Light, a new old hero, Plastic Man, an old new hero, Giant Boy, and a new hero, King Candy. Where you get a taste of my licorice lariat. Oh dear, you not just eat through the licorice lariat when he tried to catch you with it. But that's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Right, go checks, but just a straight awesome cover. Still great logo. Robbie Reed up on his logo, Dial H, House of Mystery. The Robbie Reed, so the Dial H dial, and then there's some goodness on the cover. As Lord of the Gardens, I command a plant gorilla to destroy you, Horned Man. Oh dear. The most fantastic villain Robbie Reed has ever battled in any of his superhero forms. Meet the Mummy with 6 heads. Wowzers. Panic in Robbie's hometown. Can Robbie dial in a superhero to stop the nightmare threat of the monster maker of Littleville? Even as Future Man, I can't crack out of this ice track the Porcupine Man's icicle quills are creating. Oh yeah, them icy porcupine quills. Yeah, they're always a pain. Just love that Porcupine Man. It's great stuff. Sockamaji, the wildest villain yet. Is it my imagination, or is it every week is it the wildest villain? I can't say it. Baron Bug and his insect army. Insect firing squad, ready, aim. And Robbie, in his super character, somehow got caught onto some giant flypaper. Baron Bug's flypaper. Robbie Reed, let's see you get out of this sticky mess without your H dial. Right, now we've got another trifurcated cover. 3 dazzling new superheroes. But can even Robbie Reed's amazing powers prevent him from falling under the glaring deadly spell of Dr. Cyclops, the villain with the Doomsday Stare? I've got a Doomsday Stare too. Is Zip-Tied, Supernova, and Robbie Robot. All facing off against this guy with his special glasses that can do different kinds of special effects. Right, that's that one. It's a wacky world when Dr. Rigoro Mortis and Superhood menace it, and Robbie spins his dial to become the freak superheroes. Whoses, whatses, houses. This is the heroes that he became. These fellas down here are the 3 things that he dialed up this time. And later on in the adventure run, it happened quite a bit that they'd at least one of the 2 would turn into some zany hero that they didn't think was going to be any good. Then it turns out that their zany powers managed to save the day. What a spot for a superhero. Doomed before it can even tackle the king of the curses. The Yankee Doodle Kid is caught in a trap, and his skyrocket blasts aren't stopping the Cougar Man. Yeah. There you go. It's not the greatest art when you look at it. I know I did the art, but it does it for me. You know, I can just look at it and think, are those body proportions quite right? Is it quite as dynamic as it could be? Look at that guy there, like his face, his body. Is it the best? Not really, but it just tickles me, pushes my buttons, makes me happy. Meet the villain who changes colours, the fantastic Rainbow Raiders. My green ray will slow you down to a crawl, muscle man. Still love the concept of a hero who changes in different heroes whenever he spins his dial. Right. Stalemate, trapped by each other. Who will break out first? Superhero Hoopster or supervillain Moon Man? It's Moon Man versus the Hoopster. Extra, dial H for heroin. And a dazzling girl champion joins forces with a new superhero to battle the terrible Toy Master. Now to take care of Gem Girl with my spiked Jack-in-the-Box. This was a girl pal of Robbie Reed's. She somehow manages to dial H for hero herself, but when she changes back. Luckily, she's lost her memory. Isn't that handy? So it's handy how amnesia helps out the hero to keep his secret identity a secret. Yeah, she looks pretty cool in this one. I like Gem Girl. She looks pretty cool. Right, and on this one, suck him a G! Now Robbie's turned himself into a human buzzsaw, but this time he looks like he's dialed a wrong number. Yeah, I'm not sure how much a human buzzsaw can do against a flying rocket. What's he going to do, buzz it and get blown up? I imagine he could chop off one of the guidance fins and it'll crash into the sea with a bit of luck. Right. Menace of the Micro Monsters. There's a lot less going on this cover, but it's still cool though somehow. I just think it's still pretty awesome. I like the Micro Monsters. It seems to be taking up more of the comic book somehow. It can't be because you've got a big logo on the top still, but somehow it just feels big. It feels like a big cover. Lots going on. Right, this is another cool one as well. That's our Robbie trapped by one of the H-dial monsters. And he's an Indian chief on the back of a flying horse being attacked by a flying octopus. Yeah, why not? Why not? You got a problem with that? I can't remember what his name is, like Chief Strongbow or something like that. I can't remember what his name was in this. But yeah, good stuff. Right, the very, very last one from this House of Mystery Dial H run. I was really pleased when I managed to get all these. And every time I go through them again, it's like, oh yeah, because I knew it took me quite a while to get them together. And it's like a little feeling, a little frisson of pride to know that I've got them all. You know, it's like, oh yeah, cool. This one's got a bit of water damage, it's a bit ripply, and they've got a little bit of a stain. But, you know, I've got the comic, that's what matters. Will he dial G for good? E for evil? What? What a silly question. If it's Robbie Reed, of course he's going to dial G for good. He's not going to dial anything else, is he? Right, bear with me a second. I've noticed that somehow this has gone into the case with a slight corner bend. Can't be having that now, can we? Can't be having that now. That would be E for evil. And, oh. It's one of those little cover bends that every time you want to put it back in, it automatically folds itself back over again. No matter how carefully you try and press it in so it will go in without the folded corner, it just likes to fold itself back up. There you go, you go in there nice and neat, mate. Nice and neat, that's the way I like it. Right, I don't know if I've got the full dial H for one, but I think I've looked it up before. I'm pretty sure I've got them all, I think. No, I know there's some backup stories. It does a backup story in the New Adventures of Superboy, and I haven't got that whole run yet, but I'm getting there. Next, as far as I know, next it showed up in Adventure Comics, and I remember buying quite most of these actually back in the day. I remember because every time I see it, I'd pick them up, and yeah, I can't remember which ones I bought from when they came out, and maybe a couple I picked up later on, maybe from eBay or something. I'm not too sure, but I know I had quite a lot of these Dial H for Heroes because I like the art, I like the concept. They're here, Dial H for Hero. So Adventure Comics presents Dial H for Hero. Superheroes, heroines and villains created by you. The new comic featuring the characters suggested by your fan mail. So there you go. And it's two new people. Robbie Reed is nowhere to be seen. It's Vicky Grant and Chris King. I have to pause because their names often escape me. I quite often go to say Vicky Vale because Vicky Vale, I don't know why it comes in my head all the time. I don't remember reading Vicky Vale that much in Batman, but it's the name that always pops in, probably because it's alliterative. Right, then we've got Adventure Comics 480, more heroes created by you. Right, if your boyfriend misses my cast again, he's going to fail world history. How can I tell him that Chris is out saving the world? They weren't actually boyfriend and girlfriend though, I don't think so. So why is he saying boyfriend? I think just being a teacher, teachers are embarrassing. So he's obviously up here saving the world, and he's about to get in trouble in class. And Vicky can't go and join him because she can't get out of class, probably. That's, the old thing where the superheroes have troubles at school. They've got to do their homework. Chris King, Vicky Grant, they become the heroes you create. Our power dials have prepared us for any danger. As Stella, I protect the skies. That was a lady voice, in case you're wondering. And as Volcano, I protect the land. But I am the one who shall destroy you, for I come from the sea. Ooh. I say. Watch out. Look behind you, Volcano. Look beneath you, Stella. Are you going to miss that monster emerging from the sea? Right. Whatever the danger, whatever the foe, Chris King and Vicky Grant will activate their power dials to defend the Earth as the heroes you create. This issue featuring heroes created by more DC comic fans. And I used to look at whoever sent them in. I always used to look at the name because it would tell you on the page, so-and-so created by so-and-so from so-and-so place. And I was always like, oh man, why can't I thinking... I always thought because it was in America, I couldn't really send off my suggestion, you know. It's like, in America, I can't send it there. But yeah, it was always fun. Right. I want these new superheroes dead. And what the wildebeest wants, he gets. Maybe, I knew we have some of the superheroes that the guys have changed into over the last couple of weeks. And this wildebeest wants them dead. See, this wildebeest is kind of like on the menu of most of the predators. You kind of think wildebeest isn't a really good name for a hunter. Wildebeests aren't known for their hunting prowess, are they? But yeah, we got Echo, Zeep, Ariel, White and Black, Gladiator, and Music Master. The heroes he intends to hunt down. Right. Once again, Chris King and Vicky Grant spin their power dials to confront the most incredible criminal in the annals of villaindom. His name is Mr. Negative, and we promise you've never seen anyone like him. Waspman and Weather Witch battle Bounty Hunter. That's what it says in the paper down there. And there's a poster on the wall, coming soon. The Emerald Tiger. And then on another poster on the other wall saying, Vibro is here. That's just a good cover as well, I just like that. It's a good scene. Destroy these new superheroes, my faithful ones, and I will become master of the world. Enter the Evil Eight. Ooh dear. That's the last thing you need. 8 villains against 2. That's just unfair. But what do you expect from supervillains? I like that cover. You got all the villains all around. The heroes are down but not quite out yet. Oh dear. And this one I actually bought this one again recently because the copy I had is really badly damaged, really bad spine, and I thought I could pick that new one up. That's for like £2 or something, and so I did. They're not expensive, these ones to grab hold of, but they are good fun reads, and it's a nice hellish hell cover. This morning it was your typical small town, but now it's become hell on earth, and Comicdom's newest heroes are having a devil of a time trying to save it. Right. Avatar, Master of the Elements, Crimson Star, the Scourge of the Stars, Kismet, Mistress of the Fates, Radiator, the Lord of the Lethal Lights. These superstars and more await you in this latest issue of Comicdom's most talked about new series. I know these are like one and done, one shot heroes and villains, but I kind of dug them all, you know. Most of them look really cool. Right, this is another one with some villainous mastermind, loads of photographs of the various heroes that have been cropping up around town. And he's saying, now that I've learned the true identities of all these superheroes, I will destroy them. Ooh. Right. Beware the Marionette. Not much information on this one, but it's got a kind of like a nice border around it of different characters. Into the abyss and out again into madness. So they're zooming in on this side, coming out the other side. Right, that is the end of that run. I think after that they went into the New Adventures of Superboy, I think. And then they showed up a few times, I believe, in the Teen Titans, or one of the Titans comics. And like, I haven't got them all yet, but I've got the idea that Vicky Vale had gone mad and she was trying to kill Chris King, which was annoying. Like, I hate you when they twist your superheroes into being villains or send them mad. It's like, no, what do you keep doing that for? Why can't they still be fighting a good fight? And like, whatever. But yeah, that's comic books for you. That's comic books. Right, and then there's a new, just called Hero, Hero, Hero. And this first one is a double feature. It's got issues 1 and 2 in the one book. It's quite unusual, isn't it? Collecting the sold out issues 1 and 2. Was there actually a 1 and a 2, or did every single one just start off as 2 together and they've tried to pretend? And look, as I was saying about how boring they are compared to the old comic books, it's just a bit of darkness and some guy reaching out for a hero died on the floor. Yeah, okay. It's alright, but it's not as beautiful and interesting as the early stuff. Disconnected. Some bloke walking along with a hero derby on his back. Slightly interesting, but it just doesn't say "buy me" like the old comic books did, you know. Brutal youth, and in this run, it was just like the dial was going from person to person. The story might go for a couple of arcs, then that person would lose it, and somebody else would grab it. And I can't even remember it now. It's got no, you know. Nothing super memorable about it, but one day I'll read it again. Hopefully, if I live long enough, I will try and read it again. But it's got no, look at the covers, it's absolutely no indication of what's happening inside it at all. Not the slightest bit. It just makes you wonder, how do they, like, if you knew the story, knew the comic book, you know, you maybe like, you know, you read them before. That's why I bought it, because I read Dial H for Hero in the 80s as a kid and loved it. So I bought it because I knew it was tied into Dial H for Hero. But if I didn't know the character and I just went in and saw that, alright, maybe this one, because it's got Gotham and it's got Batman in it, you think, oh, it's Batman related, so someone who likes Batman might buy it. But I don't know, maybe some people might buy that one because it's got a bit of A on it. Yeah, but it's like there's no kind of like real hooks for my liking, sort of make you sort of want to buy it. The art's quite dark, to be honest. This one, 20,000 BC, A Hero Odyssey. This one might appeal to people for humour's sake. This is Warman of the Year, and it's a bloke going, uh-oh! Basically, this guy has dialed up the H dial, and it got a bit of an unusual transformation, shall we say. I'm sure there's probably people who will get interested out of this one, but oh, I say, well. But yeah, it's unusual, and I think this is the same bloke. And don't forget to leave the seat down. So at least this is quite humorous. So I don't know if he's stuck as a woman or what, but normally the H dial only changes you for an hour. But it seems to be the same guy shaving, but still has breasts. That's what those things are called, by the way, in case anyone's not too sure. I don't know why I said that for. I'm just being daft. Right, I think this might even be the same. There's a couple of ladies there. It could be the guy changing to a lady. I'm not too sure still. Because they said the stories did run for a little while. This one you can hardly even make out. It looks like a woman tied up. And something there. Is that a hand? A couple of feet maybe? Looking down on a body there, tied up? Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah. Okay, then it's got a bit more, yeah, a bit more readable, a bit more seeable, a bit less vague. This one just says good guys and bad guys. And it's a little bit more, okay, you can see what's going on now without too much struggle to the eyes. And then we've got Copland. Very yellow. A lot of yellow going on here. Apart from the green bit. I'm assuming that someone with the H dial using it for bad purposes. Right, Pieces of Hate. I get the feeling Robbie Reed turns up in this one as well, but like rather than being the young you know, kid soccer midgie, like good times. He's like old and I think he was hunting down the dial or something weird like that. I can't remember now, but it was kind of like a lot darker than the original character ever was, you know, if I recall correctly. And here's someone with a H dial, obviously in a pool of their own blood. Number 20, you need a time out. Death grip. And here we go, this is Robbie Reed, I'm sure. The end. There's Robbie Reed, finally reclaimed the dial. He kind of, yeah. When a character who was a kid is now an adult, it kind of makes you question the timelines of DC even more. Because when you think when he was around, the other characters around when he was around haven't necessarily aged, but he's suddenly now, I don't know how old he's meant to be there. 20s, 30s, but he's aged 15 years and everyone else has only aged about 1, probably. I don't know. Let's not go into timelines. Well, then they did a new run in the New 52. Is it new? Yeah, New 52. It's just called Dial H, and this one is totally bonkers. The writer China Miéville, he does lots of like fantasy, sci-fi, kind of quite deep books, like not proper books, not comic books, just proper books. He's a proper author. I think he's from the UK. I think he's maybe even from London. I've read one of his stories once where there was like 2 towns existing in the same space, but they were like kind of like shifted over slightly in the like in the dimensional planes, and they weren't allowed to look at each other, like because it was they get carted off if they dared to. It was really weird, but and this was kind of weirdness and strange concepts are kind of carried over into this comic book. I'm just waving at a couple of my friends coming. Yeah, so and this one, it's basically one guy who's got it, but he's kind of like me, fat, overweight, aging, a nerd. He finds the dial and he basically lives it up a bit. And another person gets the dial who had it previously, and she's an old woman. And they become superhero, and they get it on. They get a bit jiggy. So the old woman and the fat kid, or the fat middle-aged geezer, have sexy time whilst they're changing into superhero. I can't say I wouldn't. So yeah, why not? Yeah, give me some of that Dial H sexy magic. But obviously it's a lot different to the old innocent Robbie Reed comics. Yeah, I can't remember the story. The rest of there was people after the dial, and there was like tying into where the dial was from, and it's all different dimensions and like my brain hurts kind of concepts, you know. But it was quite a good run. It was quite a good run, but like quite a heavy kind of read. This is almost like a fallback to one of the adventure ones where some criminal or some villain is looking over pictures of characters that have turned up, and like yeah, and some of the characters I've created in this scene are really kind of bonkers. What's this? Dr. Dictatrix. You've got Kid Torture. Yeah. Those might be villains as well, though. And you've got a very kind of, okay, what's that all about kind of picture there. This guy, I can't remember what his name was, but he had a really kind of freaky power. But they had to use he looked like he was really like almost unbeatable, but they had to use some kind of thinking outside the box to defeat him kind of thing. But yeah, it was really weird, and the way it was sort of shown as well, it looked like he was, I don't know, fractions of seconds out of time all the time, or something weird like that. I can't remember it now. And then we got a guy with an ant head. Yeah, I told you there's some bonkers characters. This one is like a guy with a dog's head with rockets tied to his back. Okay, alright, I see, okay. Yeah. Just a straight up hand with the old dial. The old hero, well it's not actually, I think this is the hero dial because it hasn't got hero in on it, but it's an old phone dial. Right, this is I can't remember this guy's name, but he is a window. He has a window, and the curtains for the window act as his cape. I think he's able to like teleport from window to window or something crazy like that. I can't remember now. And this is him again. I seem to recall there was one story set in a 2-dimensional world, and they somehow breached the 2D world. It was like, brain hurts. So it was much less about fighting crime and doing good deeds, and it was about being chased for getting the dial and finding out the weird and wonderful powers or secret of the dial. And look at them, look at all these crazy looking, very inventive but crazy, and yeah. Yeah. Right, and that was the end of that run. So that's 15 ones in. We'll come to the last series of Dial H that I have. I mean, I'm not sure if there's any other. I don't think there's any other Dial H series at all. Not unless I've missed out and didn't know about it. I mean, I know there's some appearances, say, in the New Adventures of Superboy, which are on my pickup list. You know, when I see them, I buy them. But this was the most recent one, and I managed to pick these up nice and cheap. After the run had finished, so about 6 months after the run had finished, I managed to pick up all 12 of the issues for about £1 each, rather than like £3.50 each. So yeah, I was very pleased with that. It's a new kid who's got the dial. Him and his friend basically travel across America. I'm not sure. I can't remember what they're trying to do. Other people are after the dial. I think they were might be trying to find Robbie Reed now. I can't remember 100%. Or I think they were trying to take it to the Justice League, and they ended up going to the old headquarters of the Justice League in Detroit, is it? Or was it Happy Harbour or something like that? And yeah, all the while some previous people who've had the dial. It's kind of like people who've used a dial before are kind of addicted to it, and they're trying to get after it. There's some adversary as well, and yeah, I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna give you a spoiler. I haven't mentioned it, but I told you before. It's Robbie Reed. It's Robbie Reed. Okay, I said it's 2 Robbie Reeds because one Robbie Reed's gone good, one Robbie Reed's gone bad, and it's still kind of quite zany concepts, but it's still a good fun read. I enjoyed it actually. Because when it's kind of funny because when he dial something, you get like a little one page of like an origin as well. Like it comes up like a little page of an origin, and at one point I think everyone somehow gets dial H'd. Like a whole city gets turned into different superheroes or supervillains, and that was pretty crazy. Just some cool, interesting, inventive stories kind of thing. It was. Yeah. Right, Reign of the Super Miguels. I think that was the kid's name, Miguel. And and then finally Last Call. But yeah, it was cool. It was interesting. But that's it for this video. Next video, I'm going to be going through my Blue Beetle comics. Yay! Until that time, though, I hope you all have a great, amazing day, and I wish that all your news will be good news. Bye! And remember, dial H for hero.